Outmaneuvered by the Athenians the way the Paris... The blood of the enemy will show our leaders that my strategy is the right one.
These seals should help convince them.
You've done well. Our troops are on the move.
They underestimate Spartans.
They consider me much lower than a Spartan. Time to strike again. Athenian command will be slow to retaliate. Ready to kill more of their fort commanders?
I'll kill the commanders and clear the way for your troops.
Only fools want war. And so far it seems both sides are made of fools.
Good news, General?
Athenian commanders have been dismissed for negligence because of my tactics.
Better unemployed than dead.
You're proving a solid ally. There's no time to lose. We need to control the enemy forts.
Let me ask you something first.
Waste of time.
You don't think much of Spartan leadership.
When I rise, they'll bow.
Here,
Why are you still here? Go kill the enemy command!
consider it done.
What is a leader if he hides behind the walls he built himself? Send me fire, storm, or sickness, but bring me justice for my city.
This area will be well defended.
Huh? I need to find where that came from. Huh? Who's whistling? What?
Who's making
You'll die by my hand! She's right there! Get back here, cowards!
Is someone trying to get my attention?
Well, I should see what that was.
It feels good to strike you down.
Talking in circles may work on others, Socrates, but not on me.
I don't speak in circles or any other shape. You answered one of my questions, and that brought another to mind.
And another. Ooh, and another. Cassandra! I knew you'd be back for more. I can't say it hasn't been on my mind, but alas, we must save it for another time.
Whatever you say.
I hate to cut our conversation short, Socrates, but I believe you've talked enough for the both of us. We must find another use for that mouth of yours.
Speak to him long enough, and you may find the smallest hint of knowledge veiled deep behind his enthusiastic advances.
A compliment and an insult in the same sentence. He truly is gifted. You've arrived at the perfect time. I have a friend named Sophanes who wants to become an Athenian citizen, but he needs a bit of help. Your help.
I can't wait to hear why it's my help he needs.
Any Mystios would do, really, but you're my favorite. All you need to do is sign my friend's name on a little list.
There has to be a reason Sophanis can't sign the list himself.
Well, he would, but he isn't nearly as able as you are.
Meaning?
Meaning, you have skills he doesn't possess. He'd fail if he tried on his own.
Why Athens? Surely he's a citizen somewhere else already.
Everyone wants to be an Athenian citizen, even if they don't say so. Sophanes has a mind for politics, but can only participate as a citizen.
I didn't realize you had a list of mercenaries you favor. And I'm at the top?
Of course you are! Although, if you ask nicely, I would happily let you be on the bottom.
This sounds simple. Now tell me why it isn't.
There's this small matter that you'll have to enter the Metroon, where you're not allowed, and forge his name well enough, of course.
So he's trying to become a citizen illegally. You should have led with that.
I'll try to remember that the next time. The building you're looking for is near the Agora. Be safe.
Best stay out of sight. There. His name's been signed. Time to get back to Alcibiades.
My favorite Mystios returns.
And with good news, too.
My favorite kind. You did it then?
Of course I did. Sophanis' name is now on the citizen list.
Perfect. I knew you were the right Mystios for the job. Now that you forged my friend's name on the citizens list, there's one more thing that needs to be done.
If you told me this needed to be done before, I could have taken care of it already.
Maybe, but this way I get to see you more often.
Just tell me what you need.
Unfortunately, getting Sofani's name on the list doesn't make him a citizen. He also needs a witness who can validate his citizenship.
So you want me to be the witness?
If only it were that easy. No, there's someone I have in mind. An extremely handsome man by the name of Peros.
I'll find your handsome witness.
Perfect! I knew you'd be willing to help.
There must be a good reason we can't be witnesses.
Of course. The witness must be an Athenian citizen, but it can't be a friend. Be careful with Peros, though. It's easy to lose oneself in his gaze.
If there's more after this, I want to know now.
Of course! This should be the last thing.
Should?
I mean, is.
Time to find Peros.
He's often around the Justice Building on the east side of the Agora.
And I just ask him to help?
Peros needs to say that the parents of Sophanis were both Athenian. How you get him to do it is up to you.
Got to be careful not to get spotted. The witness. There you are. That's the guy Alcibiades called handsome? Can't say I agree with him.
You tell Theon I'm not giving him anymore. If he wants to talk to me, he can come himself.
I'm not here about debts.
Well, what do you want then?
There's something I need your help with. Well, you'd actually be helping someone else.
That someone sent you tells me it's something I'd be better off avoiding.
You just need to validate a man's citizenship. Alcibiades said it's an easy role for you to play.
Ah, Alcibiades. He's persistent. And who is this man I meant to help?
His name is Sophanes.
Sophanis. I know that name well. I want help though, not for him.
I don't know him. Why don't you want to help?
True Mystios never get all the information up front. Sophanis betrayed his men for Drachmi. He deserves death, not citizenship. Ah, look, it isn't your fault. You didn't know, but now you do.
Sounds like Theon may be sending someone to collect from you. Wouldn't it be nice to have the drachmi you need?
Fine. I'll do what you want.
I should be careful. High security here.
returned.
Socrates too, it seems.
Much like you, he just can't seem to stay away. I hope there were no issues.
Yes, he just needed a little push.
Ah, I was worried about that. Well, you did the right thing.
You kept information from me. Information that would have been nice to know.
I believe people like Sophanis deserve second chances. I didn't think what he did mattered to you.
Next time, let me decide what matters to me.
Understood. I should give Sophanis the news.
Do not bad citizens do harm to their neighbors and good citizens good? Is it possible to tell if someone will be good or bad without first giving them a chance?
Person isn't the same forever. Someone bad can become good.
But is the inverse not also true? Someone considered good can then become bad? How can we predict someone's actions now, let alone in the future?
We can't. One thing I've learned is people are unpredictable. It's what makes my job so hard sometimes.
If what you say is true, we can either hope we are right and that people will be good, or limit risk by not giving people like Sophanis a chance. I wonder then if bad actions can reverse good or good actions can reverse bad. Perhaps we can speak on that another time.
Thank the gods. They'll be watching for me. I need to be careful. That's a nice horse, Socrates.
It's a very nice horse. A sturdy horse. It's also a stolen horse.
It looks like I'll have to report you, Socrates. It's what a good citizen would do, right?
Oh, very good. Although a bit preemptive without all the details, wouldn't you say?
It was a joke.
The real question is whether there is truth behind the joke, or if one's mind can be changed once the whole story is revealed.
What story is that?
There is a man nearby who is responsible for stealing the horse. I've been contemplating the proper course of action, but I'd like to know what you think is right.
And how should I make my decision?
Your thoughts are your own, but speaking to the thief himself may help you decide. Can such a crime be justified? It's an interesting thought.
Where is the thief now?
I told him to wait by the stables southwest of here.
If you caught him stealing a horse, what's to say he won't just run away?
The hope of keeping the horse. That's where you come in. I'll let him tell you the rest.
There'll be trouble if I'm spotted here. That's the thief. You won't escape. Are you the one who stole the horse? Socrates said I should talk to you.
Bad enough being caught, but to have a Misthios judge me?
Better than an Athenian guard. Anything to say?
The man I stole it from won't even miss it. He has plenty of others, while my only horse died last week. If I had the drachmi to buy a new one, I would have.
Did you steal the horse to use it or sell it?
I have a family to feed, and this horse will help me on the farm. Plus, I have no other way of traveling right now.
There's no other option?
Not that I could think of. Trust me, I feel shame for what I did.
Any reason you picked this specific horse?
It was the easiest one to take. Other than that, not really. Though, I did make sure it wasn't his best horse.
A courteous thief.
I didn't steal it for fun. I did it because I had no other choice.
I have enough information to make a decision.
I hope you can understand. Wouldn't you do the same if it was your family?
Have you decided what should be done?
he needs the horse more than the man he stole it from, let him keep it. It'll do him more good.
So, determining whether a crime deserves a consequence or reward is dependent on the reasons behind it? An intriguing thought, although I can see how dangerous such thinking might be.
The real question is whether my decision matters at all, or if this was just another test to see what I would do.
There is a good chance it is both, but an equally good chance it is neither.
Now you're not making sense on purpose.
Let me ask you one more thing. If one man kills another in order to save many, can his actions be considered just? Or should the man be punished?
If the action was for a good reason, then he is in the right.
So, in times like these, people like us get to determine the law. Many would believe a murder still deserves consequence.
The people whose lives were saved would disagree.
Then perhaps making choices that affect the most people for good is a correct path. Wouldn't you agree?
Are we done yet? I can't stay here all day.
Of course you can't. It's a luxury few can afford. Even those with the time for it often lack the mental capacity for such things.
Okay.
If a farmer steals a fruit today, but gives some of his crop to the poor tomorrow, who may decide if he's good, huh?
I could hear your footsteps. Welcome back.
So, tell me what you know about the statue of Zeus.
Its great boat stood ready to punish the Kephalonians below. Or so I was told.
I've seen Kefalonia, from the statue of Zeus.
Tell me, is it still a place of great beauty?
Yes, the island is beautiful. From the statue of Zeus, you can see the sea hitting the white beaches and mountains covered in green. But its people suffer because of the war.
Ah, just how it was described to me. The gods simultaneously bless the land and curse the people. Even for gods, your gods are cruel, Misthios.
Okay, I've told you what I remember. Now tell me about yourself. What's a Persian doing here?
Persia and the Greek world are doomed to be opposites. In times of prosperity here, Persians always seem to suffer. And when you're at war with yourselves...
Persians know peace?
Indeed. My people prospered after King Xerxes was murdered. All except for me. A man tried to kill me with poison, which is how I lost my sight. I fled and arrived here.
I find it hard to believe anyone would want you dead.
You're very kind. Tell me another tale, then I'll tell you more of my past.
There are many statues to Athena. Which one do you mean?
In my mind, there is only one. Her story always began. As we rounded the hilltops, we could see Athens bustling below us, and Athena above, matching our gaze.
You'll be glad to know I've been to the statue of Athena at the Acropolis.
Ah, if only I could have been there to feel her presence. Would you describe her to me?
If Athens is a city of statues, then Athena is their guardian. She stands high above everything, on guard over the city.
Yes, not just standing tall to protect Athens, but to serve as a reminder of the suffering those poor people endured during the invasion.
Your turn to tell me something. You said a man tried to kill you.
The man who rose up to kill the tyrant Xerxes was named Darius. He was of a new creed of killers, unlike any Persia had known. He was also the man hired to kill me.
A killer of kings? Hired to kill a simple blind man? Why?
I have your interest, do I? Tell another tale, and I will too.
The Acrocorinth... Don't tell me. It's in Corinthia.
Smart guess. It is the most renowned temple to Aphrodite, your goddess of all life's most pleasurable trivialities.
I've traveled to the Acrocorinth. From there, I could see all of Corinthia.
Ah, I can only wonder at what the worshippers of Aphrodite do to pay her tribute.
The Aetera keep the spirit of Aphrodite alive, usually well into the night.
Exactly as your goddess deserves. When I was younger, I'd lie awake dreaming of what it would be like to go. Worship, of course.
Now that's out of the way, you owe me a tale. You said the king killer Darius was hired to kill you too.
He was. By my brother.
Your brother? None of this is making any sense, old man.
I trust you. So I will tell you. My brother and I are the last living sons of King Xerxes.
Impossible. That would make you a king.
I was. My name was Artaxerxes. I guided Persia through a time of peace. But my brother wanted the throne and plotted my death. Now, I hide here, exiled, living the life of a simple beggar. I will tell you more, but first...
Yes, yes. A tale for a tale. You did say Mount Taygetos, didn't you?
You sound like you know that place. I have heard tales of its appetites. They say the mountain feeds on the suffering of Spartans, so the people there offer their own children to the mountain god for sacrifice.
That's not exactly right. I returned to Mount Taygetos.
Returned? Tell me, did you meet the mountain god who devours Spartan children?
The mountain is just a mountain, like any other. What makes Taygetos a place of suffering is the people there.
That is true of all the world's worst places.
When I was a child...
I could tell from the moment I met you that you carried the burden of suffering. Let it stay in the past.
Now you tell me, King Artaxerxes, how can I believe your story? You don't exactly look like royalty.
Well, that's the point. I am hiding.
Show me proof.
I could. You see, I knew a man named Themistocles.
The Athenian general. I heard stories about him being ostracized from Athens.
Over petty politics. He came to Persia to me, looking for refuge. I was king, but only a boy. He spent his days learning Persian and telling me stories of his home. Places like the Acrocorinth, Mount Taygetos.
The places you wished you could see.
I loved the tales and loved Themistocles like a father. He was kinder to me than Xerxes ever was. Tell me one last tale, and I'll tell you why he hid his treasure.
What do you remember about this armored bird in Arcadia?
There's a beast made of armor, jutting out from the mountainside, overlooking Lake Stymphalos and the undulating fields, stretching like waves on a golden sea all across Arcadia.
If you'd like to hear about the bird, I could describe it to you.
Nothing would make me happier.
It's a majestic statue, built from the blades of fallen soldiers. It is so high above Stymphalos and the golden fields below. Up there, I could forget there was a war.
So it is as it was told to me. The bird commemorates Heracles' fight against chaos, built on a place of calm. Hopefully, one draws out the best in the other.
So, I've been to the 5 places Themistocles told you about in his tales.
For that, my soul will be eternally grateful. As for my tale, Themistocles died peacefully in Persia, as one of us. I promise him I'd see the places he told me about. His stories will live on in me. And now you.
And what of your story?
I let the people believe Darius succeeded in killing me, so I could escape.
Artaxerxes, there's something else you should know.
Yes?
My grandfather was Leonidas of Sparta.
That means...
Your father, King Xerxes, killed my grandfather.
Then you are bound by blood to avenge him.
Artaxerxes, false king! These Mystios led me right to you. Time to finish what I started.
Cassandra, please!
Stand behind me. Artaxerxes, are you hurt?
Despite being bound by honor to avenge Leonidas, you saved me. Thank you.
I had no choice. That man wanted you dead. Must have been another one of your executioners.
It was. If he doesn't return to Persia, my brother will send another, then another. It's time this old man accepts his fate.
Sure, you could give up. Or you could sail home, kill your brother, and take back your kingdom.
I spent my entire life undoing my father's work. I won't end my life becoming him. As for you, there is the matter of your payment.
Well, I did save your life. And I went on an adventure for you, Your Highness.
You did. And in your retelling, I felt like Themistocles was speaking through you. For your reward, go to the tomb in Salamis, where Themistocles hid his treasure. It will be near where he made his triumphant stand against my father's navy.
Themistocles' treasure is in Salamis. I wonder what it could be. Come on. I shouldn't go out any farther on this boat. I don't want to be spotted here. The tomb that Artaxerxes mentioned. There it is.
What the?
Die! I hope you're ready! I'm gonna kill you!
Beast Slayer, I'm glad to see you. Daphne, I didn't think you would be.
The path I set you on is fraught with danger. You could have been killed, or given up.
No danger could have kept me from seeing you again.
Maybe you're getting ahead of yourself. Maybe.
The belt of the Ligaun wolf.
A wolf is not only a vicious predator, but a cunning adversary. Many have fallen before it.
If I fall for something, it won't be a beast, but someone here on Chios.
Don't talk of falling here. Rather think of ascending to new heights.
The belt from Callisto the Bear.
I wish I'd had the chance to see this creature in the wild. It must have been stunning.
It was. But there are other things on this earth far more beautiful.
And wild?
If not, then where would the challenge be in pursuing it?
One half without the other is nothing at all. I have nothing left to lose.
Ride, Phobos!
So you've come to face me. That was a mistake.
You deserved worse. You say somebody stole something?
Somebody stole something? Look around! Bandits took almost everything. And worst of all, they stole my family's vase. After so many generations, it's gone.
I carry with me something passed down from my mother. I appreciate the value of family heirlooms.
It's strange how inanimate objects can generate real feeling in us, isn't it?
How much is this vase worth to you?
I pay a substantial amount of drachmi for it. A very substantial amount. Is finding my vase something you could do?
I'll find your vase, but I'll need some ideas of where to look for it.
Speak with my slave near the warehouses. I sent him to uncover what he could from other slaves in the area. Hopefully he's learned something by now.
I'll return if I find the vase. Your master tells me you might have learned something about the missing vase.
I have, but I'll need something from you before I can talk about it.
I have a working agreement with your master. We're all on the same side, so tell me what you need.
You're a rose amongst the weeds.
So, what do you need?
I'm hoping that after you retrieve the vase, you'll tell my master that I told the bandits to loot the house.
Why would you want to do that?
After the summer solstice, my master plans to give me my freedom. But I don't want it. I'm hoping that if I take partial blame for the crime, I can offer my continued servitude as atonement.
That's ridiculous. But I'll think about it. Now, tell me about the bandits.
Other slaves in the area assure me that the bandits from the northern hills of Mount Ohi are the ones ransacking the nearby homes.
The northern hills of Mount Ohi? Is there a more precise place I should look for these bandits?
The slaves mentioned there's a copper mine in the area. That's where I'd put my hideout if I was a bandit.
I'm curious why you're not excited to have your freedom.
With my master, I have purpose, responsibilities, food, and shelter. All the things I wouldn't have on my own.
With your freedom, you can acquire all that, you know.
We all have different circumstances and abilities, Mistios. This life offers me the best chance of survival.
I will go find these bandits and get your master's vase.
Remember what we talked about when you return it to my master.
The bandits are in the northern hills of Mount Ohi. There it is, the copper mine. The mine. If the slave's right, the vase should be here. this trouble over an old vase?
Freedom! Thank you! By a piece of free at last. My thanks. Gimardon! Soy inevitable!
Still fighting!
Stop fooling around.
Help! They've got me trapped! Evil bearer! You saved me! I'm under strike.
I can't believe that slave wants me to lie for him.
Have you found my vase?
Yes.
That's great news. Who took it?
It was taken by bandits, hiding in the copper mine north of here.
Well, you returned it, so at least there's some justice. Here's the reward I promised.
You know, your slave is very loyal. You've already granted him his freedom, but I think you should keep him on. He may even want that.
Is it true? You want to stay?
Yes, I do.
Then why didn't you say something?
It's not a slave's place to question his orders. Isn't that right, Misthios?
Even though you're a slave, your life is still your own. You should have just asked your master to stay.
Please accept my humblest apologies, Master. I will never do it again.
All is forgiven. It worked out the way it was supposed to. Thank you for returning my family's vase.
Let's set sail!
Ready when you are, Commander.
More speed! Go! Maximum speed! Shipboard! Oars at the ready!
Commander's left the helm. You're released.
I should try to stay out of sight. That's the end.
Mistios! Over here! Mistios! And that looks like Varnavas' ship.
In fact, it...
Ah! That ship belongs to the Eagle Bearer now. Legendary Mistios, famed across the Greek world. I am just her humble servant.
Varnavas! You're back!
In the flesh, a little older, but not a bit wiser.
Miko sent me here to wait for your return. It's about Nileas.
Here we go! What has my nephew gotten himself into this time?
I think the trouble is real, Varnavas. You should go to him. Mikos told me not to return without help, and I mean not to.
I need to think. But one thing, I know my nephew. Ah, yes! He's fine, that much is certain. I'll be on the ship.
And you, Mistios? I need someone to go see about Nileas.
Why doesn't Varnavas think something is wrong with his nephew?
It's just, Nileas was a legendary nuisance growing up. He lied, he cheated, he brawled and broke things.
Some of us grow out of that.
Well, now Nileas is a serious athlete, training to be an Olympic champion. And what's more, he's family to Varnavas.
That is important. I'll help Varnavas' nephew however I can.
Nileas lives with his caretaker Mikos. Their house is just up the hill north of here.